And Kay Genesek turned it 048 red. Jason Gothard 079 runs down the back 898 with a Ford 86 miles an hour on the 9 flat. Kay Genesek 048 red runs it out the back on the 910, goes 897 at 90 miles an hour, and the crowd goes wild as Jason Gothard is going to the final round against Rodney Blackstock for the stock eliminator win.
Modified Eliminator and Pro Comp Flat. Need your boats at the in-ramp. Modified Eliminator and Pro Comp Flat. Need your boats to the in-ramp, please. Who? Personal Watercraft. Start warming them up. You guys are coming back pretty quick. Personal Watercraft. Stock Eliminator. I know you guys just came off. If you can, do a quick turnaround and hurry every chance you get. We'd appreciate it.
So here's the deal. After our Pro Comp Flat semifinals go down the racetrack, we're all in our final rounds in all classes, and we're going to run it just like we normally do, slow to fast. So the boats that were in the semis today that we ran, you will have a quick turnaround. So all of our capsule boats that are in our finals and Pro Jet, you guys need to be getting your boats ready. Quick Eliminator, you need to get them ready as well, because when we call you for the finals, we need you to come quickly. But for now, Modified Eliminator and Pro Comp Flat, you need to be at the ramp.
Here we go. Semifinal round for Modified, Top Eliminator, excuse me, running on a 7-second index in the United Rentals left-hand lane is boat number 715. That's going to be Jerry Branham, calls the boat Back in Black, racing out of Tyler, Texas. In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 405, Matt Miller. It is Miller time, sponsored by Miller Excavation, Hoffman Performance, and Smoke on the Water. 7 seconds, the index. Here we go.
And it is not Miller time for Matt Miller just yet. He was second off the starting line at 072, and he goes 704 with an 8 at 112 miles an hour to win it by about 9 inches at the stripe. Jerry Branham was 032, but the boat fell off 713 with a 9 at 106 miles an hour for Jerry. But with that 032 reaction time, he had the hole shot, just did not have the boat to back him up this time. Matt Miller, it's not Miller time just yet. He's got to face Kevin Conklin in the final round.
You know, the way Matt's been running all weekend, I think he's earned himself a 12-pack at least.
Well, you know, I saw Matt Miller the other night, and he was drinking a Dos Equis, and I said, "Hey, how can you have a boat named Miller Time and drink Dos Equis? It's just not right." Because I guess he is the most interesting man in the world.
You've been waiting all weekend to use that, haven't you?
I've been saving that, yeah.
It was worth saving. All right, here we go. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, Pro Eliminator semifinal, taking a bye run into the final.
No, this is for the win. Cindy Helms did not make the call. Therefore, Greg Collier will automatically win. Vic Fugate was broke. Cindy Helms did not make the call, so Greg Collier is your winner.
To the finish is going to be Greg Collier and Strictly Business in the 630 machine out of Orange Grove, Texas. All right, so Cindy Helms looks like she did make the call.
Right at the nick of
so
time.
that changes things just a little bit. Vic Fugate is still broke, so Cindy will have to run a legal single, competition single.
And then we'll have to come back and run Greg Collier for the win.
And
so Greg, not your winner just yet.
She will race Greg Collier. Behind them, I think they'll be fine. Getting them out. We got another birthday we want to get out today. Tim Stanley sitting over here watching the races.
Oh, happy birthday
with his daughter,
to
60
you.
years young today.
May you feel Jesus near every day of the year.
Decided to come out here and hang out with us for his birthday. We appreciate that, and we're super glad you're here. Hopefully we're going to put on a good show for you.
Yeah, you make a good point, Rich. If you are leaving the property, please be mindful that we are still trying to get boats to the end ramp to run. So just be careful. If you're leaving, safe travels home. But please, while you're pulling out, be careful and mindful of boats that are headed to the end ramp. If you are leaving, we appreciate you for coming and spending the weekend with us. We will see you in Paris, Texas, hopefully. Safe travels home. So Pro Modified up now. Henry Bainey will be coming up in the United Rentals side of the racetrack, and don't blink. The 2018 Quick Eliminator Lucas Oil champion and the SDBA runner-up for Trailer Wheel and Frame, American Brick and Stone, Gomez Landscaping, Rick Heidel, Tad's Cajun Seafood and College Station. And we love you, Mama Alice. It was good to see you out here yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Of course, Pro Modified running on a 560 index. Henry Bainey will have Mallory Carroll and a little more therapy out of Burnett, Texas for WCR Construction, Electro Freeza, Texas, RFC, RESP. Special thanks to crew chief Gary Watson, her mom and dad, and Todd and Ella Haas. So we're getting Henry to the whole rope. Mallory is already there and ready. Whenever they found out yesterday that they had to run each other, a big old hug and a big old good luck went to both of them. It was an awesome deal. Love it. And then, of course, the other side of the matchup for the semifinals of Pro Modified coming up after this will be Daryl Ehrlich and Robin Reed, which is going to be a barn burner of a Pro Modified matchup right here on a fairly windy and dark and dreary Sunday morning.
We know it's not the greatest weather in the world out here, although this is pretty
But
nice
we're still drag boat racing.
Texas,
that's all that matters.
It's not hot, at least. But, man, we're glad y'all are willing to sit out here and tolerate all this with us today, and we hope we put on a good show for you. All right, here we go. 25 seconds to go, and this run will be in the history books. Mallory Carroll, a little more therapy in the Bryan Texas right-hand lane. Henry Bonney in the left lane, and don't blink. Here we go.
And a win going to Henry Bainey, 574 with a 7 at 151. Mallory Carroll missed it by 0.03 of a second, 559 with a 7. But Henry was 011, Mallory was 138 on the tree. So had a substantial hole shot, and Henry let out of the throttle early, and Mallory Carroll breaking out by 3 thou and was just a little bit behind Henry. Henry was on his game, man, 011 on the tree.
Okay, next up in the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 700, Cindy Helms, got held up in traffic down there and was not able to get to the line in time. They almost bumped her, but luckily she got there just in time. Calls that boat Starfish, taking a competition single for Pro Eliminator into the final round. Her competition, Vic Fugate, unable to make the start. That boat sponsored by Evan Caps Racing and Arkansas Wholesale. 6.5 seconds is the index for Cindy. Had a chance to visit with her yesterday in the pit area just a little bit. She was trying to figure out, the boat shut down on her down toward the end of the line, and they couldn't figure out for sure why it was doing that, but they think they've got it figured out. And there you go, that run in the books. 6.5 the index. She ran a 6.612. 6.6, 120 mile an hour pass. 2/10, just a little over 2/10 of a second for her reaction time.
All right, so quick eliminator and pro jet. Quick eliminator and pro jet, warm up and be on standby. Quick eliminator and pro jet, be on standby, warm them up, please.
All right, here we go. Semifinal for Pro Modified is in the lane. This is the other half of the semifinal we had just a second ago. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, boat number 178 is Daryl Ehrlich and the Out of Reach machine out of Round Rock, Texas, sponsored by Daryl's Equipment. The number 2 qualifier in the semifinal round. In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 927, Robin Reed, racing out of Arlington, Texas. They call that boat Wound Too Tight. They had speed issues, ET issues throughout qualifying, but it looks like they've got that taken care of pretty well.
Oh, yeah, they do. And here's a little fun fact about the Daryl Ehrlich machine. Doug Mader is racing in his 50th year in drag boat racing this year. 2021 for Doug Mader. Papa, it's his 50th year in drag boat racing, which is absolutely unprecedented and amazing. I tried last night to talk him into Phoenix later on in the year, getting back into the pro mod boat and just making a squirt down the racetrack, you know, just for the heck of it. 50 years in drag boat racing, I think he deserves it. And I think he definitely had a look of thought on his face. I think he's thinking about doing it.
And
Robin Reed, of course, they just got that new NGK Spark Plug sponsorship for the team out of Arlington, Texas, and that's a huge deal for them to bring a company as big as NGK Spark Plugs into drag boat racing. Congratulations to Robin Reed and the team. NGK couldn't have picked a better team to be a part of than the number 7 qualifiers right here, Robin Reed and the Wound Too Tight team.
The rest of their sponsors, Two Guys Marine and Del Rio.
All right, guys. Sorry for the delayed start this morning. We're a few minutes behind. Everything has just been a scramble this morning. It was raining when we got here this morning. It quit. The wind has started coming up, but everybody just got into position as quickly as possible, and we started running boats. So you did miss Stock Eliminator, the semifinal for that, but that was it. But now it is time to finish our Pro Mod semifinal right here, live from Lake Bryan in Texas for the Southern Drag Boat Association.
Uh-oh. It's on. And your winner's going to be in the United
Daryl Ehrlich.
Daryl Ehrlich takes the win.
On a little baby hole shot. How about that? 568.
Not much of a hole shot at all. 3/100 of a second
568 with a 7 to a 568 with a 3, but because of the reaction time advantage by 0.03 of a second to Daryl Ehrlich, Robin Reed was not late by any means at 065. Daryl Ehrlich 039 on the tree. He was up on it, man, and 568 with a 7 at 136 miles an hour of speed. Way down for Daryl Ehrlich. He was out in front by a few hundredths of a second, and he knew it. Robin Reed was trying to chase after him, but just could not get there by 22 thousandths of a second. Please. Quick Eliminator and Pro Jet finals. I need you to the ramp.
In the United Rentals left-hand lane is going to be boat number 1502. That is Josh Hansen. We got that squared away finally. Calls that boat Stimulus Check. 8 seconds is on the index, sponsored by Huffman. I don't remember. I think it's supposed to be Huffman Performance, B&D Waterland. And in the Bryan Texas right-hand lane, some stiff competition indeed. That's going to be Jesse James Jr. in the 517 machine he calls Outlaw out of Tyler, Texas. And here they come.
Oh, wow. Wow. A thousandth of a second separated, and give the win to Josh Hansen. Josh Hansen 8:11 with a 4 at 98 miles an hour, and Josh gets there by 16 thousandths of a second. Jesse James was 0:53. He goes 8:13. The boat fell off by a little bit. So at the top end of the racetrack, Stimulus Check and Josh Hansen are going to the finals.
I saw Jesse about half track look over, and he saw that it wasn't looking like he wanted it to. He tried to give it a little goose, but it just wasn't enough. Josh Hansen moving into the final round. And he'll run Gavin Snyder, Gavin Snyder for the final. Gavin Snyder up there now taking his by run into the final. He's in the United Rentals left-hand lane in the 657 machine they call 6 to Midnight. Sponsored by Rio Medina Truck and Auto, Rio Fab and Weld, Lilly Construction, Custom Powder Coating, 4-way bar Diamond Decker, and 212 Athletics. Special thanks going out to Uncle Jimbo and Aunt Sue for the motor and the transmission. Mickey Snyder owns that boat. Gavin taking the run. A by run into the final round. No pressure, just don't break anything. That's it. And here we go.
So 072 ran for Gavin on his by run. It doesn't matter. 804 with a 5. He'll have lane choice in the finals at 109.79 miles an hour for Gavin Snyder. And he is moving on, and he will face Josh Hansen in the finals.
Good morning.
Good job. It's going to be tough in the finals. Henry's on one. 0-11 the last time on the tree. It's going to be a good race. It will. It'll be good. Yeah, the internet's been off and on. My ball, we're still going to get you in that boat in Phoenix.
So once again, I need a Quick Eliminator and Pro Jet to the ramp. Quick Eliminator and Pro Jet to the ramp. Get there quickly, please. Quick Eliminator and Pro Jet. I want to apologize to Rich. That was my fault for getting a little bit messed up and calling to the lane. So Pro Jet, Quick Eliminator, get to the ramp, please.
All right, here we go. Pro Comp Flat. Semifinal round in the United Reynolds left-hand lane. Boat number 569, Randy Reynolds. Calls that boat its only money. Dialed in at a 621. In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane in the Electro Freeze Express, going to be GW Golf. In the 434 machine, racing out of Cotusa, Oklahoma. He's dialed in at a 6 and 48. All right, the tree is live. You see those flashing yellow lights on there? Those are going to flash for about 20 seconds, and then they're going to go solid for 5.
The winner here will face Larry Skiro in the final round. Let's see. GW Golf and Randy Reynolds. This is going to be good.
Guys go solid. Sorry.
No, you're fine. This is going to be a great matchup right here, though.
It is.
Watch GW Golf's boat.
Here we go. Got a red light.
And the win goes to GW Golf. 6:58 with an 8. He was 0:36. Randy Reynolds turns it 0:37 red in the semifinals.
126 mile an hour pass out of Randy Reynolds. 123 out of GW Golf. The damage was already done at the start line. Here we go. Larry Skiro taking a bye run into the final round where he will face GW Golf. He's in the 075 machine they call Flat Nasty, lined up in the United Reynolds left-hand lane.
How cool is this, though? Because Larry just the other day was having to pull the motor apart. It was chunking oil out of one of the cylinders, and so for them to get that thing back, go to the number 2 spot, and then all the way to the final round, that's awesome for Larry Skiro.
Yeah, that's good. Larry Skiro's machine, sponsored by Blue Water Nursery Supplies, Blue Water Irrigation, John Heineke, Mark and Chad Margerkurth, Julie Austin, Magerkurth. Okay, I got that. Ashlyn and Miss Jerry, congratulations to Larry's son. He's going to be graduating high school in about 2 weeks. Congrats, Austin. Here we go.
He goes a 6:36 with a 6 on a 6:38 at 124 miles an hour with a 1:41 reaction time for Larry Skiro and Flat Nasty. So Flat Nasty and GW Golf, the Electro Freeze, is going to the final round.
A little bit faster than his dial, but that's a good thing because now he's got the info to work with for the next run.
Exactly. That bye run always helps whenever you're getting ready for a final round.
Especially against GW Golf.
Especially when you're going against GW Golf. And Mr. George Golf's over here like, we're going to take that boy out, ain't we? Yeah.
We're going to get it done. Thank you. All right, so a little bit of a break in the action right now. We're getting everything reset. We're up to our final rounds in every class, I believe. Is that right, Colton?
Yep, that is right. So right now we are waiting on Quick Eliminator and Pro Jet. Those finals will be coming up because some of our slower categories ran before. We don't want to hot lap them, so we're going to run a couple of finals that were lower down in the run sheet, and that way we give them a little bit more time to get turned around and come back up here.
So we'll get those guys. Did you call Pro Outlaw? Personal Watercraft, need your boats back to the in-ramp for your final round, please. Personal Watercraft, need you to the in-ramp for final round. And I don't know.
All right, so Pro Outlaw. All right, all final round competitors, get them warmed up. Pro Outlaw, as soon as you get your boats warmed up, bring them to the in-ramp, please. Pro Outlaw, get them warmed up quickly and get them to the ramp, please. All final rounds, get your boats warmed up and get them ready. But Pro Outlaw, as soon as you get your boats warmed up and ready, bring them to the in-ramp, please.
We're going to try real hard here to beat the weather. It looks like we might actually pull it off. Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we'll be good to go here shortly. And even if the creek rises, just means we got more water. We ain't scared.
Yeah, a little bit of resurfacing of the racetrack wouldn't be too bad as long as it didn't hang around for too long. So once again, all final rounds, get them warmed up and get them ready. All final rounds, get them warmed up and ready. All finals, get them warmed up and ready. Pro Outlaw, you are the next final to the ramp. Pro Outlaw, you are the next final to the ramp. Eric DeMint and Cody Childress, get them ready. And get them to the ramp as quick as possible, please. And I'm real nervous for this Pro Outlaw final. I'm just saying. Cody Childress wins, I don't have to get wet. If Eric DeMint wins, I have to get thrown into the water. And I'm already, feeling a little bit under the weather with allergies and everything, so a little cold water ain't going to help any. So Cody Childress, do me a favor, buddy. No, I'm messing. I'm messing with Eric. But so we need Pro Outlaw. We need you to the ramp as soon as possible.
All right, here we go. For Pro Jet. These guys running an 8th track, but they cannot exceed 145 mile an hour. They got to run that or slower.
So it's heads up.
8th
First
track,
to
heads
the
up racing.
first to the finish line, as long as you don't go over 145 miles an hour. And with this tailwind, Tim Ortiz has been hovering around the 143,
Yes, he has.
142 mile an hour mark. So with tailwind, he's got to be extra careful.
For sure. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, boat number 1107 is Nathan Haynes in Nonsense. And in the Bryan Texas right-hand lane, Tim Ortiz in the F-Bomb, the 331 machine. Woo!
And the win going to Tim Ortiz. Tim Ortiz 372 at 135 miles an hour. Tim Ortiz is your winner again in Pro Jet. Tim Ortiz in the F-Bomb, the fastest Pro Jet boat in the entire country, and he just showed you why once again. Nathan Haynes was 074 red. Tim Ortiz turned it 004 red right behind him. Since Nathan Haynes was worse, Nathan Haynes with the loss. 372, 135 for Tim Ortiz, and a 004 red light. Well, because it was not as bad as Nathan Haynes, Nathan Fruit of the Loom Haynes, might I add. Tim Ortiz wins Pro Jet at Lake Bryan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it's a little breezy here. This is the final of Quick Eliminator is what is coming up next, and that is a 6.0 index. Now, for those of you that are new, I know there are a couple of you, Stephen was on here and asking questions. The tree that you guys see, our side of it that we can see is not operational. Unfortunately, they don't have it working here, and I've asked them to fix it, and hopefully they do for the next event. But the tree, the way that it works is that the boats are on the rope. Okay, that's where they're sitting. There is on a rope. The driver is actually holding onto a rope that goes across. They sit there and wait. When the lights on the back of the tree are solid red, which you'll see, that means they're in the holding pattern. When they start flashing, it means they have about 10 seconds, and they will then fire up the boats. On their side, at the end of that 10 seconds, the tree starts to come down. They leave the rope. They've let go of the rope at that point. They're idle in there. They get in the throttle at whatever works for them. And the reason I say that is the object is that as it turns green, you want to cross the start line, right? So you're way back here, though, and this is the starting line. So you have to actually go and time it so that you're passing it. So they leave the rope, and some of them go slow and then hammer the throttle, and other guys hammer the throttle hard. It's all whatever their pace is. They know what gets them there to the starting line. And the quickest reaction time of the weekend so far, 001. They can be close. It is kind of crazy. So that's how the starts work. We're about to go Quick Eliminator 6.0 Index Final happening right now.
Seconds to go.
So the nitrous boat versus the blown boat. The nitrous boat for Robert Anderson, as you saw the purge down there on the starting line, on the hold rope. And Tommy the Lunchbox Rice over here on the right side with the blower boat. Let's go. 6-0 the number. Oh, no. No. Wow. Are you kidding me? Robert Anderson was ready for that one. 004 on the tree, 618 at 112 miles an hour. Robert Anderson. Tommy the Lunchbox Rice, something happened to the boat. It might have chunked the blower belt off. I don't know. But Robert Anderson wins Quick Eliminator with a 004 reaction time and a 618 with a 1 at 112 miles an hour. So Robert Anderson is not only the winner here in Lake Bryan, the first one in a long time, he's also the points leader after the first race. That's something else that we need to be paying close attention to, because that points race is going to be awful close all year long when it comes to every one of these categories.
Absolutely. Tough luck for Tommy Rice, man. That is not the way you want to go down in the final. You'd really rather go out fighting and at least know you made it to the finish line and you gave it everything you had. And unfortunately, that just did not happen for Tommy and his crew. That's a tough blow to the gut right there, that's for sure.
We need Tommy Rice's trailer back to the in-ramp, please. Tommy Rice's trailer, we need you back to the in-ramp.
No.
Man, I'll tell you what, guys. There have been quite a few either runs during qualifying. Actually, it was most common during qualifying, but a couple of them in eliminations where boats have went to leave. I almost said cars. Where boats have went to leave the starting line like that and sent the thing to the moon, right? A couple of blower boats where it launched the belt off of them or banged the blower and knocked the burst panel out of them. But the other thing that is crazy, and I had to have this conversation with Mark Williams Enterprises, actually, because they were like, oh, well, our stuff isn't in boats. And I said, yeah, it is. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, hello, they have drive shafts in them and stuff, right? So especially the flat bottoms and all these V-drive belts or boats, they have a drive shaft that goes from the motor to the V-drive unit in the front and then out of the V-drive unit and back to the prop. They have couplers in all the boats, all those kinds of things. And so it's interesting because as the power levels go up on these things, which are insane, and the amount of bite, I'm going to use a bite, the same as you would on a drag car, the amount of traction, right, that these boats have is insane. The amount of torque that is being transferred to all the driveline components as that either propeller, in that case, or impeller, if it's a jet boat, is under load. It's nuts, right? Now the jet boat is a little different because a jet boat has a scoop, basically. I won't get into technical terms, but it has a scoop that's underneath the boat, and the water comes in that scoop, goes up, and goes through an impeller, which is sort of like the impeller wheel on a Pro Charger or a turbo. And the water goes through that and then goes through a series of restrictions. So the housing gets smaller in order to speed up the water. Bernoulli's principle, like if you squeeze a water hose, physics class. Anyway, shoots the water out the back. The jet boat, because it can only work with the water that's going into it, at low speed, it doesn't have that much force, right? The water isn't there. As soon as they can get some speed and are jamming the water into that thing, though, dude, it is nuts. There is a reason why those jet boats are so fast. And congratulations to Tim Ortiz. Finnegan and I were talking yesterday about Ortiz's boat, and Finnegan's very familiar with it. Tim is a badass. Ran a 69 with a 1 yesterday at 143 mile an hour. That boat is bad. There is a big throw your wang on the table race happening in November in Chandler, Arizona. We plan on being there. And I got to tell you, that race, there are going to be some records set. There are going to be a bunch of really badass jet boats there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really fun to see. So, lots going on here. We are in the final rounds. As you can tell, gloomy skies. It's been gloomy all weekend. Although, with that said, the temperature has been great. People have been out here enjoying it. People playing in the water and having fun. Obviously not while boats are going down the racetrack. But Lake Bryan, very welcoming. Thank you very much to Bryan, Texas and the Lake Bryan Association, as well as all of our sponsors. Electro-Freeze of Texas, the Southern Drag Boat Association, and of course, big time to these two guys, right? Seriously, Holly, longtime live broadcast sponsor, Optima Batteries, brand new live broadcast sponsor. You guys know I've done TV shows for Optima for years. I've been a spokesperson for them for a very long time, one of their brand ambassadors. Best battery chargers in the business, bar none. As well, not just batteries, but battery chargers. Great people. Love them to death, and really appreciate you guys going out there and telling everybody just how good they are, and thanking the Optima crew for being a sponsor here in our live broadcast. It means the world to us. It's really, really important. So big thanks if you guys can do that. It would mean a lot to us. We appreciate it. And we've got lots more racing to go. It's all final rounds now. They're getting boats to the ramp, so the quicker that we can get those to the ramp, the quicker we will go through this. Literally, the number of classes we have, we could be done here in the next hour or less if we can get boats to the ramp. So that is what we're working on. So thank you everybody again for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the racing. We have more boat racing coming up this year as well for the SDBA, and we're working on some other boat races as well. So 2021 is one of those limbo years, man, because of, COVID last year. 2020 was so crazy, and it made things so difficult on people, and so racing boaters now are trying to catch up and all of that. So personal watercraft on the line. That is going to be our next final. I have to tell you, if you are not familiar with boat racing, then here's the deal. Personal watercraft is the junior dragsters of boat racing, right? And so you get the kids can get out there and race these things. It is a dial-in category. It's like bracket racing, and it's awesome. And there are a lot of personal watercraft out here racing every single event we've been to. So it's a pretty cool deal. And so PWC finals up next.
Get these guys plugged into the computer. We'll turn these two dogs loose, let them hunt, see who comes out the front end. All right, in the United Rentals left-hand lead, boat number 1469 is Colton Byler. Calls the boat Stretch. He's a life scout. Pottsboro FFA, sponsored by Byler Jet Skis, and also Edna and Todd Byler helping out. And in the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 738 is Jake Stevenson. In the boat he calls Little Okie. He's dialed in at a 13-12. Colton Byler dialed in at a 12-4. Jake Stevenson, third place in points 2 years in a row. He's looking to see if he can improve on that. If he can win this, it'll go a long way toward helping him get that done. Clock is done. Here we go.
And Jake Stevenson looking over, and he sets it down at the top end of the racetrack. Jake Stevenson with the win, 13:32 at 48 miles an hour. Good job, Jakey.
Colton Byler fell asleep at the line or something. I'm not sure what happened, making himself a sandwich. Is that what you said yesterday? He's making a sandwich down there. That's what it was. 1.25 seconds, over 1.25 actually, to get off the line. And at that point, he was just way too far behind. Could not get it done. Jake Stevenson takes the win and all the marbles, and he's headed home with that. And now looks like we're going to get our Pro Outlaw final. Pro Outlaw running on a 5.2 second index. What that means, if you're not 100% up to speed, is that they're fast. 150, 160 mile an hour boats, 2,500 horsepower on each lane. Combined total of about 5,000 horsepower sitting up there. They are fast, they are loud, and they are a whole lot of fun to watch. Modified Eliminator, Pro Comp Flat, and Pro Mod. We need your boats to the in-ramp, please. Modified Eliminator, Pro Comp Flat, and Pro Modified. Need your boats to the in-ramp, please. Here we go. Final round for Pro Outlaw. In the United Rentals left-hand lane is boat number 0. There's a whole lot of 7s up there. 077. That's going to be Cody Childress. They call that boat Bad Influence. Racing out of Burleson, Texas. Nope, not out of Burleson now. Where are they at? Glen Rose, Texas. We got scolded on that earlier this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 777, Eric Dement looking to roll some lucky dice today. We'll see what happens. He calls that boat real bad boy.
Boo.
Out of Luling, Texas. Sponsored by JL Gray Construction, Lilly Construction, Great Western Corp, Marley Ranch, and Performance HVAC crew, or Performance HVAC rather. His crew, Perch, Oscar, Victor, Gary Gray, and Anita.
Well, let's see who's getting wet. Is it going to be me or Cody Childress?
If you're going to get a video, watch those capsules. When they close and lock, it's time to hit the record button. You're going to feel it in your chest right about now. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh, my God.
We got a dead
Are
folks.
you kidding me?
Nobody
Wow.
wants to go down today.
Are you serious? Oh, my God. No. Are you kidding? Wow. Seriously?
That's what the computer said,
Seriously.
right?
A tie. A
Dead
tie.
heat.
A tie. A tie. A tie. A tie. A dead heat. Oh my gosh. So that means nobody gets wet. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. They tied.
So here's how it all broke down. Cody Childress off the line, 34 thousandths of a second. We're going to need
Oh
those
my
back
gosh.
to the in ramp. They're going to have to do it again.
Oh no.
We cannot let it finish with a tie.
I got lucky one time. I can't get lucky twice. No.
They were within 1,000th of a second of each other.
No, they were tied
They
to the
tied to the
1,000.
1,000th. There we go. And there was no way to call it.
That is not possible.
Cody Childress off the line, 34
Are
thousandths.
you kidding me? I am still shocked. I
Eric
can't
Dement
get.
off the line in 61
I
thousand.
can't. No, I can't get lucky twice.
Cody Childress kept it going. So 170
Oh, my
mile
God.
an hour pass there, y'all.
That is amazing. 5:24, 0:34 reaction time for Cody Childress. Eric Dement was closer to the 5:20 at 5:21, but was 0:61. They canceled each other out. You do all the math, they tie to the 1,000th of a
Pretty
second.
crazy.
This is the first time
Trust
I've
me,
ever
y'all,
seen a
up
tie.
here, we were just as surprised as you guys were, honestly. Like
Hey, I'm not getting in the water, Oscar. You didn't win. You didn't win. You didn't win. Not yet. Now you got to go get the boat ready and come back. Get the boat ready and come back. We're gonna run it again. Seriously.
Yeah.
So go back, perch. Go back and get the boat ready.
The water's canceled off.
No, it's not. No, it is not. Because I can promise you, I can't get lucky twice. I can't get lucky twice, and neither can you, Oscar. So I'm just saying.
Pro Outlaw, we're going to bring those boats back around. We know it's going to take a minute to get reset, but if you could hurry every chance you get, turn around and get back down there, please. That's you. All right, this looks like our stock eliminator final, and it is. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, boat number 555, Jason Gothard, number 1 qualifier, and running it all the way up to the final. Let's see if he can do it one more time. Calls that boat Sodali Tober, racing out of San Angelo, Texas. That boat sponsored by Fastline Fabrication, FPC Services, Walls Tractor Repair Incorporated, Buddy E.S. Johnson, Extreme Barbecue, Wayman Pittsford Incorporated, Joe Yarborough, and Palmetto Distillery. Special thanks going out to Seth and Paul. 9 seconds the dial. In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane in the 424 machine, he calls plumb crazy. That's going to be Rodney Blackstock, coming from the number 6 qualifying spot all the way to the final round. It's dialed in at a 9-3, sponsored by Rodney Blackstock, and driving for Al and Dodie Kirshner,
All right, so let's see. This is going to be a good one. Jason Gothard and Rodney Blackstock. Still cannot believe that Pro Outlaw final. Wow.
Pro Outlaw in a tie. That is crazy.
That's the first time I've ever seen a tie in drag racing, period. But here we go. Stock Eliminator Finals. And it'll be Rodney Blackstock. Jason Gothard turned it 142 red. So Rodney Blackstock 176 goes at 931 on the 930 at 82 miles an hour. Jason Gothard on the racetrack 925 on the 9 flat. Oh, what?
Are you still using needle pointer gauges on your ride? Now you can get that clean, slick look of a digital dash on your carbureted cruiser. Holley's standalone digital dashes can replace all your traditional gauges with a state-of-the-art full-color touchscreen. Available in 2 sizes, the touchscreen auto dims, giving you crystal clear sharpness day or night. With access to multiple screens just by swiping, you get to view and customize all your favorite gauges. Easily set up driving screens, tuning, race, even warm-up screens. The fully programmable touchscreen allows you to customize the layout of your gauges, displaying them in analog or digital styles. You can set up warning lights and even virtual switches, eliminating the need for external toggle switches. Configure your own backdrop for that custom one-off look, or choose from the pre-configured screens. Basic engine functions are wired directly to the dash, with plenty of room for additional sensors. Configuring inputs and outputs is easily done through the dash. With predefined Holley sensors already programmed into the dash, adding sensors is easy. Non-Holley sensors are also supported with sensor scaling. An internal GPS sensor calculates speed, odometer, and trip functions. An integrated G-meter monitors your acceleration and lateral forces. These dashes are easily mountable on your console, dashboard, off a roll cage, or simply a steering column. With room for 13 multi-configurable inputs, you can be sure everything will be visible and data logged. A built-in USB connection allows you to expand your available memory for easy file management. On-screen data log playback allows you to review vital run information right on the dash, while full analysis via laptop is available. With USB keyboard and mouse functionality, setup is quick and easy. A CAN bus is included for plug-and-play compatibility with Holley EFI systems. So next time you need to keep tabs on the vitality of your engine, swipe on over to one of Holley's new standalone digital dashes. Learn more about Holley's digital dashes at holley.com.
I can't believe it.
Now witness some history here today, that I will tell you.
Wow. And I wish my voice was better. I wish my voice was better so I could have,
later on, we'll see how that goes.
I wish my voice was better so I could have, reacted a little bit more enthusiastically to that. But I was trying.
Enthusiasm was your reaction. I think
oh no! I was so shocked and surprised. I'm surprised I didn't flip the table over.
Okay, here we go. Top Eliminator final round is in the lanes and ready to go. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, boat number 828. That is Kevin Conklin out of Midland, Texas. Calls that boat Texas High Risk. And in the Bryan Texas right-hand lane, boat number 405. That's going to be Mr. Matt Miller. And it is Miller time, the name of the boat. Sponsored by Miller Excavation, Hoffman Performance, and Smoke on the Water.
Papa Top again.
The most interesting man in the world, Matt Miller.
Yeah, got a boat named Miller Time and drinks Dos Equis. How about that? One of these things that doesn't belong here.
He'll go from the number 3 qualifier to the winner and top eliminator, and he will have earned a Miller or two. 7 seconds to go. Here we are. Let's get it done.
And it is Miller time for Matt Miller. 106 on the tree. He goes 707 with a 7 at 111 miles an hour. Matt Miller, y'all break out the Dos Equis back there in the Miller time pit, because y'all, is it too early to have one? No, it's 5
o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Always on 5 of Margaritaville, come to think of it. Anyway, Kevin Conklin was 135 and goes 714 with a 4 at 108 miles an hour. And Matt Miller, I apologize if I sound, just like I'm not happy for Matt Miller. I really am. I just physically can't.
Look at him pulling him here. There's 031 ahead here. Left lane.
Closing it up.
Dear sweet Jesus.
0. The margin.
I want a picture of that too. That is insane. I will forever remember the Pro Outlaw final in Lake Bryan, Texas. The first one. Now the second one might be unforgettable, but this one I definitely will never forget. Wow, a dead heat. I didn't even know it was possible. We always said on land drag racing it's impossible to tie. But, oh wow.
Okay, here we go. Whew.
Oh, man.
It's been a day already, y'all. In the Pro Eliminator final is in the lanes and ready to go in the United Rentals left-hand lane. Boat number 630. Blah, 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 blah. My tongue is tied up around my left tonsil right now. I don't know what happened with that. Greg Collier in the Strictly Business Machine. 6.5 seconds is the index. Racing out of Orange Grove, California. That boat's an Eliminator Daytona powered by Chevrolet. In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 700, that is Cindy Helms. Calls that boat Starfish out of Malvern, Arkansas. That boat's an Eliminator powered by Chevrolet as well and sponsored by Irvin Caps Racing and Arkansas Wholesale. 10 seconds to go. Top alcohol flat, need your boats to the in-ramp, please. Top alcohol flat, we need you to the in-ramp. We're missing one. Cindy Helms jumps the gun and earns a red light, and your winner's going to be Greg Collier in the United Rentals left-hand lane and Strictly Business. 6.5 on the index. He ran a 6:59 with 0.69 for a reaction time, 121 mile an hour pass. Cindy Helms off the line, 23 thousandths of a second too early, and that did the deed. It was a done deal at that point. I just did. Top alcohol flat, we need you to the in-ramp. Top alcohol flat, we're missing one. We need you to the in-ramp, please.
All right, so listen up really quick.
Tough luck for Cindy. Sorry, I'm done.
No, you're good. Yeah, that is tough luck for Cindy Helms. After that little mix-up in the staging lanes, and then she gets a second chance to come back and do it, because we were, writing her off. Greg Collier was going to be your winner, and Cindy Helms comes back for redemption, and then just jumps the gun by 23,000. Anyway, so we have an autographed picture of Mickey Snyder from this weekend in his Pro Outlaw boat. We have an autographed picture. We're going to give it away if somebody can come up to me and tell me what color Mickey Snyder's boat is, without going back in the pits and looking at it and finding it. What color is Mickey Snyder's boat? If you tell me the right answer, you get the picture. And Miss Jerry doesn't count because she knows everybody. So if you can tell me the color of Mickey Snyder's boat without going to Facebook, without, be honest, and I'm not going through every color of the rainbow. And that guy that has a last name that nobody else can pronounce. Got it. Mr. Major Kurth. That was quick, too. You were on that. Are you on his team? That doesn't count if you're on his team. Okay. All right. All right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Got our modified eliminator final. Got our modified eliminator final in the lanes in the United Rentals left-hand lane. Boat number 657. That is Gavin Snyder. 6 to Midnight, the name of the boat. Sponsored by Real Medina Truck and Auto, Real Fab and Weld, Lilly Construction, Custom Powder Coating, 4-Way Bar, Damon Decker, and 212 Athletics. Whew. Special thanks to Uncle Jimbo and Aunt Sue for the motor and the transmission. And in the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane in the 1502 machine, that is Josh Hansen. Calls the boat Stimulus Check. Colton's favorite boat name out here. Sponsored by Huffman Performance and B&B Waterland. 8 seconds is your index. Got your number 2 and your number 4 qualifier in the final. Got to take care of the young kid. Grow them right. All right, 10 seconds left. Modified eliminator. Gavin Snyder left lane. Josh Hansen. Gavin just got his license this weekend. Here he comes.
And the win going to Josh Hansen. How about that 095, 806 on the 8 flat at 98 miles an hour. Gavin Snyder goes to his first final round at his first modified eliminator race, but does not win it on a hole shot. He loses to Josh Hansen. That stimulus check came in handy for Josh Hansen.
He ran an 801 on an 8 index, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, on a hole shot.
He lost it at the start line, and way too often, or maybe it's not way too often, either way. Most often, let's try that. That's how most drag races get won or lost, is right there at the reaction time. And that's exactly what we saw right there.
And we haven't really explained to the fans who have been here this weekend that have never been to a drag boat race exactly how the starting line works. So basically, you have to go at it at a running start because obviously you're in the water, the boat is constantly moving. So unlike land drag racing where you go from a dead stop, you can't do that in a boat obviously because the water is moving underneath you. So you have to get a running start. I believe the starting line is, 100 feet from the hold rope?
25?
It's 25, I'm sorry. So 25 feet from the hold rope to the starting line. So you have to anticipate on the light whenever your number comes up. You have to pick a number. It counts down from 9 to 1, and at 0 the green light comes on. So your goal is to go across the starting line beams as soon as the green light comes on and the clock hits 0. So basically you'll pick a number. Like if it takes you 3 seconds to move 25 feet, then you'll go on 3, and hopefully you'll cross that beam as soon as 0 comes up and the green light comes on. So sometimes if your boat when you let go of the hold rope, if your boat or the wind pushes your boat up just a little bit, it completely changes where you're going to leave on the tree. So you might be leaving at the same place every time and not get the same results.
Business taken care of in the United Rentals left-hand lane. Boat number 178, Daryl Ehrlich. And out of reach, racing out of Round Rock, Texas, sponsored by Daryl's Equipment. In the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane, boat number 459, Henry Baney. Don't Blink out of Burton, Texas, sponsored by Ranch King, Taylor Wheel and Frame, American Brick and Stone, Gomez Landscaping, Rick Heidel, Tad's Cajun Seafood in College Station, and Love Ya Mama Alice. Woo, I got it in.
And let's see who's going to win it. Henry's going to win it for Mama Alice. Oh, and that voice crack comes in, but I don't even care. Hank gets it done, and Hank's the reason that I'm this way this weekend. 085, he goes 571. Daryl Ehrlich broke out by about 25 thousandths of a second at the big end of the racetrack trying to catch Henry, but see, Mama Alice being here this weekend, that gave him the good luck charm that he needed. Hank gets it done. Pro modified winner right here, and that he's going to be pumped up. And I know Mama Alice is sitting at home watching right now, and she is pumped up too. Mama Alice, this one was for you, baby.
There we go. And so to add on to what you were saying, Colton, if you're sitting out here on the beach watching and you look over at the tree over there, it works a little different than it does on land. And sometimes that can be a little confusing for folks, but you'll see that yellow light at the very top on each lane start flashing once both racers are in place and ready to go. And then it'll go solid for 5. It'll flash for 20. It'll go solid for 5. And then the countdown starts on the other side from 9 to 0 in half-second increments. And the racers, as you said earlier, need to know what number they need to leave that holding rope on to be able to get to the green light on the right amount of time. Super cool. Here we go. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, we got our final for Pro Comp Flat. In the United Rentals left-hand lane is boat number 075. That is Larry Skiro. Calls the boat Flat Nasty. Sponsored by Blue Water Nursery Supplies, Blue Water Irrigation, John Heineke, Mark and Chad Magerkurth, Julie, Austin, Ashlyn, and Miss Jerry. Congratulations to Austin. Be graduating high school here in a couple of weeks. Dialed in at a 6:35. In the Electro Freeze Express is GW Golf in the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane. Boat number 434 out of Catoosa, Oklahoma. Dialed in at a 6:52. 3, 2, 1, go.
And Larry turned it red by 17 thou. GW Golf with the win, 655. He was dialed in at 652. Larry Skiro turns it 017 red. And what a 104 green reaction time for GW Golf. So the Electro Freeze Express gets it done. One of the golfs in the winner's circle. That doesn't surprise me at all. But Larry Skiro, what a success story from the way that the weekend started to the way it ended, making it to the final round. He goes to 636 on a 635 at 120 miles an hour, but missed it on the starting line by 17 thousandths of a second for Larry Skiro. So congratulations, GW Golf, the entire Electro Freeze team of George and GW. Larry Skiro, glad he got it figured out and was able to make his way to the finals. The number 1 and 2 qualifier in the final round, the number 1 qualifier, as it should be, or as you would expect, the winner here in Lake Bryan.
And looks like now we're going to get our top alcohol flat final. This will be fun. This is another one of those, if you're just looking for some cool videos to show your friends when you get home.
Yeah, this is
Get the
one.
camera out and be ready for this one, because anything can happen.
Looks like they're pulling Bill Miller up into the near side of the racetrack. Bill driving for Max Davis and party to the max.
Bill Miller has had some crazy runs already this weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
A couple of times he's had us with our hearts in our throats.
But, you know, that's normal for Bill Miller. Bill Miller
Yeah.
lives for that kind of thing. And he's the best at doing it. So this one is going to be interesting. Bill Miller and Bill Diaz. Bill Diaz driving the War Party Ride Zone in memory of Miss Nancy and Mr. Jerry Davis, the man out of Bullhead City, Arizona. When Miss Nancy tragically passed away, we miss her so much. She left that boat to Bill Diaz. That just proves the love and support that Miss Nancy gave Bill Diaz over the years. She trusted her baby, her top alcohol flat bottom with Bill Diaz, and he drives the mess out of that top alcohol flat bottom. He's a champion multi-times for the Southern Drag Boat Association in top alcohol flat bottom. But Bill Miller, just like we said earlier, Bill lives for the crazy runs. We don't call them the funny cars of drag boat racing for no reason. If you've ever seen funny cars on land, they're unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen whenever you smash the gas on one of those things. And it's the same way with this. So they have a pedal that is connected to a mechanism on the back of the boat that determines how far the front end is raised and for how long. And the driver has to manipulate that pedal with his left foot in order to keep the boat, because they want them to fly out a little bit, because it helps for weight transfer and to get the boat moving. But then the driver has to slowly and at the correct time get that boat to lay the nose down. And Bill Miller, what he was fighting earlier this weekend was the prop that they had on the boat was just catching too hard. It was just biting way too hard, and it was just throwing the front end up in the air. And then whenever that happens, the prop comes out of the water, and then everything just goes haywire. And he almost ran up on the bank a couple of times. He didn't, thank God. But Bill Miller, that's what he lives for. Max Davis was telling me the story yesterday.
Hang on. Let me take care of this business real fast,
go ahead.
and then you can tell your story. In the United Rentals left-hand lane, boat number 556, going to be Bill Diaz. War Party Rides On, the name of that boat. Racing out of Bullhead City, Arizona. Honoring legends Jerry and Nancy Davis. Nancy Davis Racing, Aquatic Balance Pool Services, Industry Tire, Mike Isham, Rick Holen, Stacy Smith, Brady Truck Service, RB Props, Infamous Brewing, Hook Marine Detailing, DSM Madness, Nitro Funny Car, and his crew, Kevin, Jeff, Todd, Straight, Nancy, Marcia Kinsley. Special thanks to Andy Campbell, Brian Campbell, and Drag Boat Review, also to Sam and Cheryl. And in the Bryan, Texas right-hand lane in the 0556 machine, they call Party to the Max. That's going to be Bill Miller, Max Davis's machine, racing out of Taylor, Texas. Three-time SDBA High Points champion. Sponsored by Max Heavy Haul, More Trucking, Elite Products, Rapid Photos, Texas Automotive Equipment, Robin Banks, CP Carrillo, The Blower Shop, and his crew chief Terry Moore, Joe Davis, Dwayne Gilbert, and Mark the Wire God, all helping to keep that machine running. Your number 1 and number 2 qualifiers with 15 seconds left to go on the clock. Here they come. Get those cameras ready. Watch the capsules. Once they close, hit record and watch what happens.
And it happened again, man. It happened again to Bill Miller. That boat just got absolutely insane. And Bill Diaz grabs the win, 5:57 with a 9. 145 miles an hour. Bill Diaz wins again. Party to the Max and Bill Miller. That boat, yeah, you saw it. It just lifted the front end up and kept wanting to lift it up, and then just got all haywire. And that's how quickly those things can happen. Inside top alcohol flat bottom. That's why we say they're unpredictable, and that's why they're the funny cars of drag boat racing. So thank God that he kept the right side up and the bottom side down, and was able to collect that boat in time to save it. Bill Miller, that's why he got the job. Like I was saying earlier.
Pointed right at us too. I was kind of glad to see he shut it down.
It was, but Max Davis was telling me the story, and this is why it's such a great story. Bill Miller used to drive top eliminator. And when word got out that Max Davis was buying a top alcohol flat bottom boat, he gets a call from Bill Miller and asks him if he's got a driver. And Max says, I've got a couple of people in mind. And he goes, well, just give me a shot. And he's like, just let me show you one time. I'll take the boat down the track one time and let me show you that I can do it. And I think they were in Arizona, and Bill is telling a fib to Max Davis when Max asks him, well, can you be here, in a few hours? And Bill says, yeah, absolutely. And he was still in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
So he jumped on a plane as soon as he could, flew to Phoenix, Arizona. And when he did that, Max Davis said, you know what, this guy's got heart. This guy wants it. So he's had the seat ever since then. And as you can tell right there, that's exactly why. Because Bill Miller is one of the best to ever drive a top alcohol flat bottom. But they probably just got after it too much, and the boat just bit too hard again. They were trying to beat that Bill Diaz team because they knew they had to. They knew they had to step on it. They stepped on it just a little too hard. But congratulations to the War Party Ride Zone team. Another top alcohol flat bottom trophy going in the trophy case.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Colton, I think we're down to just our Pro Outlaw rerun. Is that correct?
I believe you're right, and they should be on their way back to the end ramp here in just a few minutes.
I'm Evan Perkins with Holly, and we're at West Tech Performance, where we just made 902 horsepower on this Holly Super Sniper equipped Pro Charge small block Chevy. The mule for this test is a Pro Charger F1A94 equipped Blueprint Engines small block Chevy block that's got a fully forged rotating assembly. It's about 9.5 to 1 compression, aluminum heads, a hydraulic roller camshaft, a Holly strip dominator intake, and it's topped with an 8-injector Super Sniper EFI system. The Super Sniper is really cool because it's got 8 100-pound injectors and a 2.5 bar map sensor, which means it can support 21.5 psi of boost or 1,250 horsepower. Like the base Sniper, the Holly Super Sniper is completely self-learning capable, which means it can tune the engine while you drive. However, if you're running really big boost or making a lot of power, the best practice is to always have a good calibrator tune the engine on the chassis dyno or the engine dyno using a laptop. For this test, we used 3 different pulleys: a large pulley, a medium pulley, and a small pulley. The large pulley spun the supercharger a little bit slower, and it gave us some time to make sure that the tune was finessed and that everything was working well. Then we dropped down to a medium pulley, and then finally to a small pulley, which upped the blower speed to the fastest that we were able to achieve today. The first pulley made 777 horsepower, the second made 840, and once we had the small pulley on the engine, we made 902 horsepower. Holly's top-tier EFI system is always going to be a multi-port style system, but what the Super Sniper does really well is it's self-contained, easy to tune, laptop tunable, and it can support really big horsepower by just bolting it onto a 4-barrel flange with a supercharger or a turbo. Learn more about the Super Sniper at holly.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we have one more round to run. Well, not one more round, one more final. If you guys are just tuning in, you wouldn't have seen this, but if you have been tuned in all morning, then you saw the Pro Outlaw final run not too long ago and end in a tie to 1,000th of a second. Now, the thing is, I know that the timing system here goes to sorry, Colton's talking to me also. The timing system here goes to a millionth of a second. Okay, I just was told that by the timing system guys earlier today, and the timing system is very accurate. So somebody was asking yesterday about the length of the racetrack and how they know with the, buoys and all these things. Well, the timing equipment here on our side of the racetrack, there are actually stakes in the ground, painted stakes with flags on them, and those are put in by a surveyor, an actual property surveyor who has to certify the distances in order for records to stand. If they just wanted to do a drag race with no records, then they don't have to. But in order to have records, the track must be surveyed. So the way that it works is they put the stakes in, okay, at all of the increments, and then they put a laser across, and the laser hits the each one of the timing poles that's in the water. So the timing poles in the water have a giant tripod on them that sits, when I say giant, I mean it's got to be 10 feet across, and it goes down and they shove it into the dirt or the mud on the bottom of the lake, and there's a little metal pole sticking up. Well, then hanging on that metal pole is a timing photo cell that is adjustable, right? So they get the thing close and get all that lined up. Well, because of the fact that this is all light beams going across, it's accurate when everything lines up. So there's a lot that goes into setting this up, and it isn't just like sitting it on the ground like it would be at an impromptu drag race. This is a lot more work. It's in the water in a lake, and you have divers and all this stuff, which they legitimately do. So it's crazy, and it's a lot of work. So very, very interesting, and it's a testament to what has to go on here in order to get ready for a race. So racing started on Friday with testing and what have you, but the racetrack actually got set up. The area got surveyed on Monday or Tuesday, and then Wednesday they started setting up the actual track as far as putting in all of the timing equipment in each of those locations. And so it is a lot of work. These guys will be here taking this stuff down all day tomorrow. Maybe since we're early today, maybe they'll get most of it taken out of the lake, but they won't have it all cleaned up and put away for sure until sometime middle of the day tomorrow would be my guess. So a lot of work goes into this, and it is pretty cool. And the Southern Drag Boat Association, they do it. They're classy. This is a classy joint. It is a classy group of people. They are fun to be around. They have a good time. They put on concerts and all kinds of stuff, but there is a lot of work that goes into doing this the right way, and it is pretty cool. So I'll put it to you this way. Other people that put on drag boat races are here racing with the SDBA because they know how good the SDBA stuff is. So like the Smoke on the Water guys, they are all here racing with the SDBA. The guys that actually put on Smoke on the Water, which is one of the most famous boat races ever. So yeah. Okay, so we have more water falling from the sky, and I would really love to be able to show this final, but this is the heaviest rain we've had, and of course the wind has slowed down, which makes it worse, honestly. But they are backing the first one at least into the water. I don't see the other one up there, but hopefully the second boat is coming. Yeah, because that is going to suck if they take more than a couple minutes here. So we'll see. I can live with a wee bit of sprinkles. I cannot live with actual rain. So hotel towels come in handy. But yes, like lots of the wetness touching the computer is no bueno. Not on the parts where the water can get in, like the keyboard. So yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my little tutorial. Honestly, I was actually talking to Finnegan because I'm gonna yesterday, and I'm going to talk to him about doing some drag boat tutorials for us on Bang Shift, because I think it would be good stuff. So it's cool. There's so much that's obviously the same. It's a drag race, right? First guy to the end wins. If it's an index, etc. Same as all the drag race. The difference is the starting procedure is very unique compared to a drag race. It's sort of roll racing, if you will, in some ways, which is an interesting way to look at it. But I thought about that this morning. It's cool. It is. It's very cool. And again, great people here. Trinity Racing Ministries. Super glad to have them on board. They are one of the sponsors right here. Of course, Bryan Texas, WCR Construction, BTU, and Pat Drywall. I can't remember Pat's last name, and I can't read it. My screen's so little bitty, but I think it's Henny. So anyway, Hennessy. So thank you so much. Optima Batteries and Holly, seriously, our big live broadcast sponsors. The put the boat in the water. Let's go. It's raining. Now they're standing there, I think, debating on lane choice. It doesn't matter. Put the boat in the water, and then we'll pick a lane choice. I don't care. Both of them are wet. Anyway, big thanks. Please go out on social media. Like, it means so much. I cannot explain to you. To go to the Facebook page for Optima and go, hey, thanks for being a Bang Shift Live broadcast sponsor. That's all you got to write. It's thanks for being a Bang Shift Live broadcast sponsor. That's all you have to do. It really does mean a lot. And hit the thumbs up on this broadcast, you slackers. I mean, there's just no reason not to. If you don't like it, then why are you listening to me? Go away. So like the thing, or stop watching. That's really. So. Six-pack protect the gear. No, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not going to let anything get ruined. Ooh, see, the wind's coming back up. That's actually good. Because if the wind is blowing, then the sprinkle hits and evaporates. Because it's not cold at all. It's not. I'm wearing a hoodie, don't get me wrong, but I'm doing that as a sun protection thing more than anything. I'm comfortable in the hoodie. It is not hot in the hoodie. But everybody else out here is in short sleeves, and they're perfectly comfortable as well. Okay, so we got one boat in the water of our two. Again, if you're missed out, we're rerunning the final in Pro Outlaw because the finish was a tie. Legit a tie to apparently, like, I don't know, 100,000th or a million. I don't know. It was a tie. Yeah, Mopar Man, a shelter won't work. Everybody always says, oh, why don't you have shade? Well, I could make me a thing out of a tarp and some PVC pipe that would be easily collapsible to carry with me and do a nice arched thing and cover me and all that. The problem is that I'm on a boom lift right now. See how this thing bounces? Okay? Yeah, so it already bounces and it already sways in the wind now. If you put a parachute on top of it to try and keep the sun and the rain off of me, then one of two things is going to happen. This thing's going to whip around even more, which makes it impossible to keep the camera going, or it's going to take flight and leave the building and go flying down the way. I don't know. So there's just really not an option, unfortunately. Okay, so one boat is in the water and pulling up to the starting rope, and the other boat is still in the lot above the ramp, and they are apparently belting the guy in because he didn't while being towed 2 miles to the ramp. Just saying. Woo! The scoreboard is on a barge out here. It floats. And that thing is a whipping around in the wind. It is hilarious. Now the wind is picking up, which they can't run if the wind gets too high. So these guys may screw themselves before it's over if we don't get them in the water very quickly. I don't know. Hoping not, because it was super cool to see a run that was a dead heat, but I want to see the tie break. Plus, depending on the winner, Colton may have to take a swim in the lake. Okay, so Pro Outlaw. Somebody asked earlier what the difference was between Pro Mod and Pro Outlaw, and to be honest with you, I didn't know until yesterday. When Tim Ortiz, your Pro Jet champion, who runs a Pro Mod boat as well, who drives one for his father-in-law, I asked him, what's the difference between Pro Outlaw and Pro Jet? Well, it's engine combo. So Pro Jet are big blocks and Pro Outlaw and Pro Modified. The difference between those two, Pro Modified are big blocks, Pro Outlaw are Hemis. That's basically what it has become. It is two different index. Pro Modified is a 560 index. Pro Outlaw is 520. The Hemi guys running 560 said, hey, our boats will go way faster than that. We want to change the index to 520 or 30 or 40 or whatever. And the big block guys were like, man, we're blowing our stuff up if we try and go that fast. So they made two classes. So legitimately there is a Hemi class, which is all blown alcohol, stuff, Pro Mod style stuff, like Pro Mod cars. But they run with a Hemi combo. They run a 520 index in Pro Outlaw. And in Pro Modified with a big block, they run a 560. Now, could either of those run in the other? Yes. There is no rule precluding either of those engine combos from the other, but it has just turned into that on its own because the Hemi guys want to go faster. So they run 520s and the big block guys run 560s. Either way, badass boats that haul ass, and they're fun to watch. Okay, finally the boat is coming down the ramp. Oh my God! Speaking of ramp, RTC is still on here. If you want some pure entertainment and proof that just because you live by the water doesn't mean you know anything about putting boats in it, not only as a municipality but also just purely as a boat owner, go look up 79th Street boat ramp videos on YouTube. I fell down the rabbit hole the other day, and it's pure entertainment, and it is in Florida, where people have zero clue, apparently, on what you actually do when you own a boat and you're putting it in the water. So they have docks at the boat ramp, and people put their boat in the water and tie it to the dock and then get back out of the boat and then get in the truck and then move the truck. And then when it's time to take the boat out of the water, they come up and park the boat at the dock in the way of the ramp and then go walk and go get their truck and bring. It's the most ridiculously stupid thing I've ever seen. It's so entertaining. And so you got to go watch it. Just so you know, the right way to do that is that you pull up with the boat, you pull up near the dock, your buddy that knows how to back up a trailer or you jumps off the boat, runs up the dock, and goes and gets the truck and trailer. Meanwhile, you back up and go goof around and cruise around in circles and watch. And when your buddy comes up and is close and it's going to come down the ramp, then you pulls up onto the trailer, never get out, don't take anything out of the boat, none of that stuff, and your buddy gets out, hooks the thing on the trailer, and pulls you out. Like, if it takes you more than 15 seconds to unload a boat from the time the first wheel of the trailer hits the water, and it takes you more than 30 to load the boat from the time your tire hits the water, you're doing it wrong. And I will gladly give you lessons if you fly me to wherever your boat is and your trailer, and I'll show you how you do it, because we've been doing it forever, and it cracks me up. Oh yeah, so people crash into each other, run into each other. It's like they've trained people to think this is how you put boats in the water. It is pure entertainment, let me tell you. Okay, here we go. Oh yes, Mopar Man, Bad Boaters of the Week on YouTube is good too, yes. Okay. We have boats in the water. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. This is the Pro Outlaw final again. Okay. It is the Pro Outlaw final again. Right here, live. SDBA, bankshift.com.
Pro Outlaw, Cody Childress and Bad Influence in the United Rentals left-hand lane. Bryan Texas right-hand lane. That's Eric Dement and the real bad boy. 7 seconds left on the countdown. Watch those capsules, get those cameras ready. Here we go. And your winner going to be in the Bryan Texas right-hand lane by 72 thousandths of a second. Eric Dement and the Real Bad Boy. Hey, Colton, don't forget to take that wallet and cell phone out of your pocket now. We are going to do the awards ceremony in 30 minutes at the pavilion. We will have the presentation of awards at the pavilion here in about 30 minutes. Here comes Oscar. Look out. Colton, get that wallet and phone out of your pocket, dude, because that's going to be ugly. All right, presentation of awards in 30 minutes at the pavilion. Be there. Colton's begging for his life over there. Don't do it to me. Don't do it, please. Cody Childress hurt himself with a red light, by the way.
All right, that was a drag race, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I mean, ultra close again. Dude, look at that. Wow. Unbelievable. Super cool to see. Those guys are hauling the mail. Red light, man. Woo. That is, wow, too bad. God, that was a close drag race again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Love that we got to bring it to you today. Despite the challenging weather, it has stopped sprinkling, and so as long as it stays that way for the next 45 minutes or so while I pack all of this stuff up, the minimum amount to get it in the car and on my way, I will. But thank you again for tuning in. Seriously, it means the world to me. Bangshift.com, follow us on YouTube, smash the bell, hit the like, do all those things, subscribe. And also, please go thank Optima Batteries in Holly. It really does make a difference, and we really appreciate it. To the Southern Drag Boat Association fans out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Love doing your races. Want to do more of them as well, and we will be doing more this year. Look for that here on Bangshift.com. Thank you so much, everybody. We do appreciate it, and we are out of here.